I'm Alexandra and welcome back to my channel. Are you ready? Because I'm about to talk about the 33 books I've read in May. Yes, you heard that right. 33 books in 1 month. It was, it was weird because I've read mostly one author. And I've read, 25 books by that writer. So, anyways, I'm ready to talk about all the books. I'm gonna keep it short because I've read too much to just go into very deep into all the books. So I've read many books by Abby Glines, which is I've read her before. I was up to date and then I stopped because I felt like it just wasn't working for me anymore. But she changed and started writing dark romance, which I just found out last month. Well, technically I found about her in April, but I'm looking in April. I only read one book by her, and then I went into deep hole where I read everything by her. So we'll start with the first book. It's called Torrid. It's the Judgment series, book 2, and this year following Trinity and Liam. Liam is a bit older, Trinity is a bit younger, but she's in her 30s, so it's not that weird. It's just there's too many pregnancies and Abby Glines' work, which was kind of weird, but it's okay. I still enjoyed Torrid. I'm gonna go quick because I don't want to, it's all the same, but they were all amazing. I had an amazing time. The one that I preferred, I'm gonna talk a bit more about them, but the rest, and then the second book I've read was Smoke Show, which is the Smoke series, book 1, and this you're following Blaze and Madeline, Maddie. Anyways, I like Blaze. Madeline, not that much, but it's okay. And then I read Smoke Bomb, which is a Smoke series, book 3. No, I skipped. Sorry, getting confused. But I've read Fireball, which is the Smoke series, book 2. You're following Blaze and Madeline again. It felt great because I felt like the first book was a bit too short and didn't explore everything in that relationship. So book 2 wrapped it all. And then we read, I'm two-person. I read Fireball, oh my god. I read Smoke Bomb. This is book 3 of the Smoke series, and this you're following Huck and Trinity. Trinity used to be engaged to Huck's brother, but he died, and Huck, anyways, it's weird, not my favorite, but still good. Then I read Straight Fire, which is the book 4 of that same series, and this is following Gage and Shiloh, which I enjoyed because they used to date back a couple of years before, and Shiloh was too young and just, it was full of drama, and then she left, but you don't really know why she left because a couple of years later she got into a car accident and lost all her memories. She remembers from the day of the accident, not before. And yeah, there's some drama. Gage remembers her for sure, and you learn about them. I love them. Okay. And then I read Firecracker, which is the book 5 of the Smoke series, and this you're following Trev and Gypsy, which has to be my least favorite book in that series because Trev is the cocky, full of himself guy, and it's just not my type. Anyways, I'm saying Gage or whatever is my type, but no. Also, I forgot to mention the Smoke series is about a Southern mafia, which is involved in horses and a bunch of kind of illegal things. It's the mafia. I should have started by that. It's dark romance, but it is mafia, and you'll see all the Smoke something series is all mafia. So anyways, the Smoke series is about the mafia in Florida. So Ocala, I don't know how to pronounce that. It's the name of the city, and all the first 10 books are from there. So anyways, book 6. What is wrong with me? I said in French. Anyways, book 6 of the Smoke series was Whiskey Smoke. Yeah. And this is following Levi and Aspen. I love Levi. It's just Aspen was this young girl who didn't live a lot, and it just felt a bit weird, but I love Levi, so Yeah. And then book 7 of the Smoke series, so book 8 for me during that month, was Smoking Hot by Saxon and Aisley. I kind of like the fact that Aisley is a bit different from the other girls, and Saxon is like this good guy, and he's not that good, but yeah, it was good. Then book 9 of the month was Burn. This is book 8 of the Smoke series, and this you're following Kai and Genesis. I like this because they've known each other all their lives, and Kai was only seeing Genesis as like his best friend, but then they realized that it's not the case, but Kai accidentally got someone else pregnant because he liked to have fun, but that person decides to give the baby to Kai. Like, she doesn't want to get involved, so Genesis comes in and gets involved. And I like this one because they were like more mature, but they were like still young, but I enjoyed that. Then book 9 of that series, so book 10 of the month, was Scorch, and this you're following Garrett and Fawn, which was kind of weird because it felt out of place because Fawn is the mother of Gypsy, so the person in book 5. And in book 5, you learn about Garrett and Fawn and their relationship, but you don't go into the relationship. You go into the relationship on book 9, which was too late. It should have been like book 5 with Trev and Gypsy, and then book 6 with Garrett and Fawn, because Garrett is the dad of Blaze and Trev. It just felt out of place, but I like the fact that these were older people, because Garrett is like in his 50s and Fawn is in her late 30s. So, older people, which was nice. No babies. Again, nice. And then the last book of the Smoke series was Ashes, so book 11 of the month. And this is following Wilder and Oakley, which kind of felt weird because Wilder was not in any of the books except I think it was on number 4, so Straight Fire with Gage and Shallow. So Wilder was there, but it's also a good stepping stone to another series because Wilder is from another of their families, but not the one in Florida, the one in Georgia, I believe. Yeah, in Georgia. So, it's kind of a stepping stone. Then we'll stop a bit with Abby Glines. I've read another book. It's called The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. And this you're following a human girl in a world of vampires. She has to fight them in a tournament to prove that she's worth basically living with vampires. A lot of things happen in this. I would say that it was good. It was good. I gave it 4.5 stars. So, very good. I would love to have learned more about the other characters, but otherwise it was good. Strong fantasy. And then let's go back to Abby Glines, this time with the Georgia Smoke series, which has 7 books. So book 13 of the month was Slay, which is Georgia Smoke number 1, and this you're following Rumor and King, which is also the people that you're following in Slay King. I don't really remember about them. That's weird. Oh, I think I remember now. No, I feel like the Georgia Smoke series is kind of forgettable except for book 5 and 7. So I'll go quick. Book 1 and 2 are about Rumor and King. Then book 3, which is Sizzling, and book 4, which is Storm, are about Briar and Storm. And then we go on to, I think, my favorite book of the month. It's Demons. This is Georgia Smoke number 5, and this you're following Thatcher and Capri. And honestly, Thatcher, I saw Goodreads review of that book saying that Thatcher is a black flag guy instead of a red flag guy. But it's dark romance. We like that. He's actually nice with Capri. Not with other people, but with Capri is very nice. So, I'm thinking about buying the physical book of that one because I haven't mentioned it, but all of the Abby Glines books that I read were ebooks. So, but Demons, amazing. And then there's book 18 of the month, which was Smolder. This is Georgia Smoke number 6, and this you're following Sebastian and Royal. I don't really like Sebastian, but I mean, he kidnapped her to go to, anyways, yeah, not my favorite. But then we go back to Thatcher and Capri in book 7 of Georgia Smoke, which is called Legions. So that's book 19. Again, I'm thinking about buying this as a physical book because I just loved it. But then we're moving on to the Mississippi Smoke series, which has I've read how many? I've read 4 books of that series, but there are more out, and I think there's another one coming out in June. We'll see. But I preferred the Mississippi Smoke than the Georgia Smoke, just so you know. So first book in that, so book 20 of the month was Tore Up. It featured Bane and Hollow. Hollow was seeing this guy, and she accidentally got pregnant with him, but then he stopped replying to her, and she just thought he was gone, but turns out he was dead. And Bane is the brother of that guy, and he decides to take care of Hollow because she's pregnant with his brother baby, but then they fall in love, and you know, it was cute. And then something that I find really funny, the Mississippi Smoke number 2, which is Hotter and Hell, featured Sailor and Jude. Jude was a priest, and he realized that maybe it wasn't for him because he fell in love with Sailor and, you know, wanted to do things that were not allowed as a priest. I think he was a Catholic priest. I'm not sure. Anyways, he wasn't a Protestant priest. I don't know, pastor. Anyways, because in certain religion you're allowed to get married, but in others no. But in that one, he wasn't allowed to get married. So he fell in love with Sailor and wasn't a priest anymore. But I just thought it was very funny. Anyway, so the Mississippi Smoke number 3 was Oh Hell No. This featured Oz and Winslet. I don't even remember what it was about. I don't know. But the next one was better. The next one is called Outlaw. So book number 23 of the month. The Mississippi Smoke number 4. This featured Branwen and Link. Link is in the generation before all the guys that we've been seeing, except Garrett. So Garrett and Link are in the same generation, but Link was married, you know, had a kid. The kid is Levi, so from the Smoke series. If I'm not mistaken, it was Levi. Pretty sure it was Levi. No, was it Levi or Kai? No. I'm getting confused because there's another old guy that has a kid. Anyways, so one of them. And Link, when he was younger, was very close to well, when he was like a teenager, he had a friend who was a kid, so Brenwen. But Brenwen left because her dad died. Anyway, very confusing what I'm saying. But anyways, they met in Vegas like 5 years ago and reconnected, had fun, laughed at being married because they decided to go into like, you know, a fake marriage, but turns out it's a real one. And Brenwen goes to see him to get a divorce because she wants to get married to another guy. But then Link realized that she has his kid. She got pregnant during the Vegas thing, and yeah, they just reconnect, and it was nice seeing older people. Yeah, Bronwyn is younger than Link, but by like 10 years, so she's in her late 30s. So, you know, older people. It was nice. It was nice. Then we move on. We move back to the Judgment series. So I read book 1 in April, and read book 2 at the beginning of May, and then I went into book 3, which was Old Flame. It featured Tex, who used to be called Rome, and Salem. They were very close when they were younger, but then Tex's mom told him, like, if you keep seeing her, she won't be able to do what she wants to do in life because she wanted to be an artist. And anyway, so he let her go. Salem went to Boston, lived her life, got married, but then sadly her husband got sick and he passed away. And she comes back to Florida, and then she meets Tex again, and you know, they reconnect. And book 4 of the Judgment Still Burning. So book 25 of the month was also about them. Also, I forgot to mention that The Judgment is a series, so Motorcycle Club. It felt very Sons of Anarchy. Yeah, but it was good. It was good. Different from the Smoke series, but you know, still very good. Then book 26 of the month was Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. So my monthly Brandon Sanderson book. This is for sure my least favorite book by him. I don't know if it's middle grade young adult, but it definitely read younger than what I was expecting, which was kind of weird. Otherwise, the world building was great. I just didn't care about the characters. They felt too young. So I gave it 3 stars, which is very sad, but you know, life is life. And then I was very in the mood like of reading Abby Glines, and I've read everything that she has published, so I went and reread books by her that I read at the beginning of the month. I think it's very funny. Anyways, book 27 of the month was Smoke Show, so Smoke number 1, which is Blaze and Madeline. I've also reread book 2 of that series, so Fireball again, Blaze and Madeline. Then I went on and read Smoke Bomb, which is Smoke number 3, then Straight Fire, which is Smoke number 4. So now we're at 30 books. And then I read a romance. So number 31 of the month was Reckless Memories by Catherine Coles. I think that's how we pronounce her name. Not sure. Anyways, I'll put it here. This is book 1 in the Wrecked series. And anyways, and this is following Ford and Belle. They used to be friends many years before while Ford was dating Belle's sister. Then they got into a bad accident. Belle's sister passed away and Ford left town. But Belle went to university and came back to town, and they meet again because Ford's family has a bar that needs help, so Ford comes back and help. The first part was hard to get into, but the rest, I love it. The last half of the book, absolutely amazing. The plot twist took me out, like I wasn't expecting that at all. I'm currently reading book 2 of that series, so you know, I'm giving the book 3.75 stars because I don't think it's worth 4 stars yet, but it was good. It was good. Yeah, hopeful for the rest of the series. And then I DNF'd the book, which is, I have the book here, Running Hot by Jane Ancren. So I put it down at page 62 out of 337. I just couldn't get into the story, and I had Abby Glines to read, so you know, put it down, and it's okay, it happens. I usually enjoy Jane Ancren. I'm currently reading another book by her that I love, so you know, going well. And then last book, but not the best one. Okay, this is Something Wilder by Christina Lauren. I've read other things by them, but this one just wasn't working. I didn't care about the characters. The story felt very slow. Yeah, but the writing was good, so I'm giving this 3 stars. It's not that bad, but you know. And yeah, that's it. 33 books. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't remember a month when I read more books than days. You know, because there was, what, 31? Was it 31 days? Anyways, you get the point. So more than 1 book a day for May, which was amazing. So yeah, my Kindle has been used a lot during the month. Yeah. So that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon in another video. Bye!